Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of TLDW, the show where I sum up movies in a short amount of time. Today, I'm covering The Matrix. This is actually the third time I've filmed this, and the second time I've released the video, but we'll ignore the first one because it was terrible. Well, let's get into it. So, we're on Earth, and this woman, her name's Trinity. She's being chased by some coppers, but she's on a motorbike. I don't think actually that's what happens. I need to look at the notes again. No, that is what happens. She's fighting them off real easy, but then some nasty folks turn up. It's the agents. She's obviously pretty scared of these agents, you know, they're tough. So she runs away and she manages to get to a phone, and these guys possess someone driving a truck. They're gonna ram a truck into her, but as she calls the phone, she disappears into nothingness. It's incredible. But then, smash cut! We're getting away from these four, there's three of them, to Thomas Anderson. He doesn't look like this yet, so we're gonna refer to him as lame. So in that little scuffle earlier, the agent's got his handle, and his online handle, is Neo, because he is Neo. But he's asleep at his desk, and as he wakes up, his computer's like, hello, I'm a computer. You should follow the white rabbit. And he's like, sure, why not? Got nothing else on today, I'll get on with that. So then some people show up to his house. They're like, hey, can we buy some sort of strange sci-fi drug? And he's like, yeah, I've got a lot of sci-fi drugs. You can have as many of them as you want. So he sells them, and it turns out one of the people he's selling to has a white rabbit tattoo. So he's like, hello, I'll come with you. We'll go on a little rave. While he's at the rave, guess who he meets? If you guessed Trinity, you would have been right. So at the nightclub, they have a quick chat about what the Matrix is, and it's very, very vague. Ooh, it's unclear. We don't know what it is yet. But she's telling him, don't trust anything. Don't trust anyone. Don't trust the police. Don't trust no one. They're all in on it. It's the system, you know, in more ways than one. After that lovely chat, he just wakes up and he's like, I guess I had a dream. How strange. Better get to work. Shows up at his work late because he had a bit of a lie-in because he's a lazy piece of shit. While he's at work, he gets shouted at for being late. So he's in his booth and he ggets a delivery, and it's a really shitty phone. But guess who's on the other end of the phone? It's a mysterious man by the name of Morpheus. And Neo's like, ah, Morpheus. And he's like, look out, look at the lift. There's someone coming up the, oh wait, they call it elevators. Look at the lift. There's someone coming out of the lift. And it turns out it's one of those agents from earlier. So he's a bit concerned. He's not sure what he should be doing. But Morpheus is like, just listen to my instructions. So tries to guide him out of the office, eventually leads him to a window. He's like, just climb out the window, you'll be fine. And Neo's like, nah. So he goes back, lets himself get arrested, and that's where we meet Agent Smith. So they want his help catching Morpheus, so Neo gets a bit sassy, so they stick a bug in his stomach, and he's like, oh, I don't like that. And then he wakes up and he's like, wasn't it all a dream? No, because Morpheus calls him and is like, do you still want to know the truth? And he's like, fuck yeah, I do. So they meet under a bridge, where it turns out in the car, we have Morpheus, we have Switch, and we have Trinity. They're all in the car. Trinity managed to suck the bug out of him using technology. So they all have a chat. He goes to a special church. The church is symbolic or something, I'm not sure. And he's like, listen, if you take the red pill, you wake up. And if you take the blue pill, you have a nap. And Neo's like, oh, while a nap is tempting, I think I'll wake up. So he wakes up. He takes the pill and he wakes up in one of these things. Turns out humans are being farmed for energy. Don't ask me how. Gets dumped out the bottom, gets picked up by the gang in the ship. We'll look at the gang in a minute. They stab him with a bunch of needles to get rid of all of his metal prods, and he passes out because he's in a lot of fucking pain. Then we meet the crew of the Nebuchadnezzar. Obviously Neo's on the boat. This man is called Cypher. He's not evil yet. So then we've got Mouse, we've got Tank, we've got Dozer, we've got APOC, Trinity, and Morpheus, and Switch. This is the crew. Backstory of the world. The world is a mess because AI went kind of crazy. He's now updated on the situation, but he still doesn't know, you know, what he's meant to do. So they go, right, we're going to download some fighting stuff into your brain, and then you're going to help us like free other people from the Matrix. Also, you might be the one. We don't know. We'll take you to see the Oracle later and we'll see. They all talk about how the food's miserable and everything's kind of miserable and being in the real world kind of sucks. But you know, it's better than being a slave to the machine. And I'm sure all of them agree with that. So other facts about the Matrix. If you die in it, you die in real life, because why not? The agents are basically super powerful programs that none of them really have any hope to fight. But while they're sort of having this discussion and he's training, real world problem happens. Sentinel attacks, but they manage to hide from it successfully, so they escape. They also have an EMP like ready to go. So they manage to hide, and it turns out Bitch is a traitor. All he wants is to go back into the Matrix without, you know, any memory of the real world. He wants to just believe the fantasy. Ignorance is bliss, as he says. They go on a mission to go to the Oracle. And when they go in, Cypher tips off the agents. They're like, this is where we're coming in, just so you're aware. And we'll probably be leaving here. So if you set a trap, we'll probably be there ready for you later. These two, they are in the real world. because of reasons. They need someone to run sort of their Matrix thing so they can keep an eye on things and look out for them. So these three stay to guard the entry point, and these four go to meet the Oracle. This is the Oracle. So they go to meet her, and she's like, hey Neo, you're not the one, but Morpheus really thinks you are, and he's gonna get himself killed, sacrificing himself for you. So try not to let that happen. And he's like, oh fuck, okay. It's a lot of pressure, I just got here. So right, they leave the Oracle's apartment. On the way back, crisis alert. They're being attacked by agents. Let's get them. Agents are there, Mouse gets shot to shit, not before he finds 2 machine guns and shoots a load of them, but he is dead. They all hide, and they're almost gonna get away, but fucking Cypher sneezes, gives away their position. So Morpheus bursts out of the wall and starts fist fighting Agent Smith to try and protect them. They all manage to get to a different phone, and Cypher gets out. As soon as he gets out, he kills Tank and Dozer. So they're not on the door, on the wall, but imagine they are, and now they're not. So he's like, right, I'm gonna just start killing folks. So he unplugs these two, because obviously they're not the main characters, so they die first. And then he starts getting very, very creepy with Trinity while she's unconscious. But then, plot twist. One of the boys isn't dead. Tank lived. He got shot, but he lived. And he shoots Cypher, who is dead now. What a traitorous bastard. This is the crew. But Morpheus has been captured by the agents. The reason he's not been captured and killed is because they need the access codes to Zion, which is a human city somewhere in the world. So Tank gets these two out, and they're like, right, what the fuck are we gonna do? We've got to unplug Morpheus before he gives away the codes, because he's gonna get tortured out. The information's gonna get tortured out of him. Neo's like, absolutely not. I'm gonna save him. And Trinity's like, I'll come with you, you bad boy. So they go into the Matrix, they get loads of guns, they go to the tower where Morpheus is being tortured, and they shoot it the fuck up. And then they put a bomb in the bottom and blow it the fuck up. And then they go up to the roof, and they see an agent up there, and these two both do bullet times at each other. One of them's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the other one is like, well, 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 we. And that's how bullet time works. So they managed to escape that situation, hop on a helicopter with a minigun attached. I know, it's crazy. It's a mile a minute right here. You probably feel like you're watching the movie right now. This is so intense. So they get a minigun, and you know what you should do when one of your friends is being, interrogated near a window and is like, bound and gagged and unable to really do anything to defend himself. You should shoot a minigun into that room and just pray he doesn't get hit. And by some fucking miracle, Morpheus is not riddled with minigun rounds. I don't know how big they are. This big, who knows? They're not a fish. But they do manage to scare off the agents for a bit, and they manage to save him using rope. As they're sort of flying away, they get shot a bunch and the helicopter starts to go down. So it's a bit of a panic stations. They all jump out of the helicopter onto a roof. It crashes into a building. The building does like a very strange ripple effect, and they manage to, land, and they make their way to the nearest phone. Meanwhile, in the real world, Sentinels are attacking the Nebuchadnezzar, so they're like, we need to do the EMP, but you can't do it when your mates are plugged in, otherwise their brain will fry and they'll die. So they're like, right, we got to get Morpheus out to the phone as quickly as possible, so that they rush down there. These two manage to get out, and then Agent Smith is there, and Neo is there. Smith has shot the phone that the other two escaped on, so these two have a fight. They have a very long fight, and in the end, Neo gets shot and he's dead. But Trinity's like, listen, the Oracle said that the man I fell in love with would be the one. And mate, I fucking love you. So he wakes up because he is the one. And then he sort of really beats the shit out of Smith and then jumps into him and explodes him. And the other two agents are like, whoa. Once he defeats Smith and he's out of the Matrix, quite handily because he is the one, they set off the EMP, killing the Sentinels. So the Sentinels are dead. These two make out for a bit. At the end of the film, Neo gives a lovely speech about the Matrix and how it relates to the real world and, a bunch of other stuff, and then he flies away, and that's it. So that was The Matrix, summed up in a short amount of time. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment about films that you'd like me to cover in the future. I'm always looking for new ideas on this show. That was fun. I'm gonna go and hop into The Matrix myself, maybe get myself a delightful digital steak, and maybe get a job at a terrible, terrible company that will rob me of my wages. Oh wait, I can do that in real life.